ladyboy, transsexual, tranny, she-male, or even chick with dick.
Yeah.
Good evening, Cici.
Hi.
We're back for some more questions.
Indeed we are.
Okay, so let's see if we can get some fun, intriguing questions here for your viewers. And let's start here. I want to ask you just a myriad of different types of questions. Some of them might be a little bit off the wall. Some of them might be different. Some of them might be just based on my perceptions. But I think you're going to do really well here and answer these questions.
I hope so.
Okay, so first question. I wanted to just sort of discuss the characterizations around trans women. Depending upon where you're from, you might hear the term ladyboy, transsexual, tranny, she-male, or even chick with dick. You know, are any of the foregoing terms, derogatory? And is there a best way to characterize a trans woman?
Well, I'm not very sensitive when it comes to terminologies used on me, but I do understand that some trans women might be. And so I think the best way is just to address them as women. But of course, we can't control what people think. And so some people will, just want to disrespect you or get your attention by calling you names such as, chick with dick, which is not false if you're going to think about it, but at the same time it's not proper if you really want to be respectful. So what I'm saying is that it really depends on who you're talking to. As for me, I don't really care, but if you use any other word than woman or trans woman or ladyboy, I'm okay with too. We're not going to talk. I mean, I'm not too sensitive, but that just means you're not respecting me, so we're not talking.
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense. Because, of course, in America, we don't hear the term ladyboy very often. It's usually, transsexual, tranny, she-male.
Yeah.
That seems to be sort of the common terminology. So it's a little bit different. So I just wanted to ask that because, you might get a little bit blindsided if somebody does refer to you, using the different terminology. But as you point out, maybe it's just a case of, referring to you in a respectful way that will reflect who you are.
Yes, that's right. It all boils down to intention, and you would know what the intention of the person is depending on how that person addresses you. So right away, I can tell if it's going to be a good conversation or if there will be a conversation.
Okay.
Oh, ladyboy, though, I think originated from here. Because as you know, English is not their primary language, and so gave birth to the term ladyboy. So I'm not really offended, but there were some other girls who were offended when I used that term on a Facebook group, actually. And at that time, I was in the marketing for a cosmetic surgery center, and I just wanted to help the other girls. And I said that I work for a surgery center, and these are our offerings. So if there are ladyboys here who would want to undergo such procedures, then just let me know, and I can help you out. Last thing I knew, after few hours, I think, there was someone who just commented a long paragraph saying, you shouldn't be using that term, it's disrespectful, and how can you intentionally disrespect your own people? And in my head, well, I'm one of you, so why would I do that? And so I was really pissed, but I tried to understand them, and I didn't really want to cause any trouble. So I just apologized, and I said I wouldn't intentionally disrespect you or, our girls. And so please know that I'm just wanting to help. And if any of you girls would, want my assistance, then let me know. And I thought that was the end of it. But I think after a few hours more, there was another comment from one of the group members, and she just commented on there, "This has to be talked about more." And in my head, I was like, no, I am done with you. I am going to block you on Facebook, and I'm going to leave this group because this is just really not for me. The situation is getting out of hand. So
Sure.
That was my experience.
Okay, great. So obviously it depends on the person and what level of sensitivity they have, towards whatever terminology. So I can relate to that. Great. All right, let's go to the next question, which is almost sort of a little bit of a follow-up question. I feel, you look like a beautiful girl to me.
Thank you.
And I think anybody who sees you is going to probably think the same thing. So I guess the big question is it okay to draw attention and acceptance as a beautiful girl? Or do you feel you need to label yourself as a trans girl?
I don't really want to walk around with a signage on my forehead saying I'm trans. But I think it's only important when you're dating, because at the end of the day you are trans, although you don't have to parade around telling people that you are, because it's your privacy. However, if you're dating, then you should tell the person that you are trans. I think that's the situation that would really warrant it.
Yeah, no, full disclosure makes a lot of sense. So, all right, let's go to the third question. Can you discuss what it was like when you first came out as a trans girl, and if you noticed anything different about how people treated you as a beautiful girl versus being male?
I can't really remember anymore the first time that I came out as trans, because I usually don't. It's either they would know from the company, and then word would go around the company, and then I would just confirm the story. I think the very first time I actually came out was on YouTube, because normally I wouldn't tell people. However, during the pandemic was probably the first time that I came out on YouTube, because when I first made my first few videos, it wasn't around being trans, so people probably didn't know. But when pandemic hit, that was about the time that I said, maybe I'm ready to come out, and with the intention of helping other girls, because I want to share my story. Otherwise, other trans women wouldn't really listen to me if they're thinking that I'm not trans, right? And even up to this day, I think there are some people who don't believe that I'm trans, and I'm using it just for clout. I mean, why would I? There are people online who use it not for clout, but to pull stunts, probably. But on YouTube, my intention really is to share my life and share things that I know. So, in the hopes of helping the other girls to elevate themselves. So that was the first time, yes, on YouTube.
Okay, great. So actually, you may not just be elevating just trans women, but all women. So it's
I
a
hope
win-win.
so.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Great. All right, next question. I've noticed that there's a great variation on the way different trans women dress. Some dress very provocatively, whereas you dress in a more sophisticated manner, just like any girl would dress to look elegant and pretty and that type of thing. I recently spoke with a pretty Thai, I guess we'll label her a ladyboy, who basically had her underwear and sort of pre-op parts conspicuously evident. And when I asked her about her outfit, she said she wanted the world to know she was a ladyboy. Don't you think having a bulge in your panties or having this sort of conspicuously evident is contrary to normal feminine attributes, or is this just another individual preference?
That is, well, this is just my opinion. I do think that is, in fact, contrary to, our traditional idea of what a feminine or what femininity is. Not just the idea. I do really think that it's not feminine. However, it doesn't make her less of a person, but it does make her less feminine. See, those two things are different. She's not less of a person, but she's less feminine. And who knows, that might just be her goal anyway. Maybe she's not really particular about being seen as feminine, but she has a goal which we may not know. That's probably a work move. And that probably helps her in whatever she's doing, because obviously that kind of behavior or manner of dressing, like you said, is provocative and it draws attention. And maybe that's just what she wants and needs.
Yeah, and in this case here, I think, as you point out, maybe there's that attention, but also too, maybe it's the monetary incentive. Maybe this is somebody who, who's doing her social media, the OnlyFans. And the feeling is the better she looks, the more sexiness that she exudes, the more pictures, the more videos that she takes is going to equate to greater monetary gain.
Yes, that could be right. And at the end of the day, it's her choice. And no matter what goal she has, as long as she achieves those goals, then, all the best to her.
So what motivates your manner of dress? Is it to look good, to be noticed, look sexy, be comfortable, or maybe all of the above?
Probably all of the above, but it also depends on my mood for the day. And there are times when I would just want to be left alone and not be stared at by anyone. And so sometimes I'll just be in a very monochromatic outfit from head to toe and with my sunglasses on and headset on because I just want to be in my own world even when I'm in public. And then there are, of course, some days when I want to be a little bit more feminine, more florals, more prints, and tonight I'm wearing dots, and so today I just feel like, is this kind of a 50s look? I'm not very sure, but today I just want to look a little bit more old world and more proper, covered up, and so but ultimately comfort is a priority. Well, not all the time, because that would be a lie, because there are days when it's form over function. It's got to look good at the end of the day, that's for sure.
And your dress, I don't think is from the 50s. I think of more sort of the pink polka dots from the 50s. So I think polka dots and pearls, I think, go really well on you. So beautiful. Okay.
This is actually my mother's dress.
Oh wow.
Yes, because we have the same build and just different height because I'm so much taller. But it's the same build, same narrow shoulders, and so she gave me this dress.
Fantastic. Your mom would be proud of you today.
Hope so.
So, all right. Now, do you do your makeup exactly as any other girl? Or is there a different method for trans women to do makeup? As you've noted in the past, that some trans girls might still have masculine features.
Well, I do my makeup just like any other girl, but more than that, I do my makeup more subtly than most girls, than even born females, because what I noticed today is that more and more girls wear a lot heavier makeup, and it's partly because of social media. You see all those beauty makeup tutorials with layers and layers of makeup, and I can't, because I'm very acne prone. And like I said in the first interview, I also worked in a fashion design school, so my taste in aesthetic is kind of sublime. It has to be very classy, sophisticated, and it should look as much as possible like it would belong in a magazine. That's always how I see it. Like when I do my hair, my clothes, my makeup, I should look, well, the goal is to look like I belong in a magazine. That's how I see it. That's my own little bubble every day.
Okay.
But you are right. There are some trans women who have some masculine features, and I think the thing is, they probably think that when they wear more makeup that they're masking all those features. That's not necessarily true, because femininity, especially in makeup, for the most part, comes from the subtlety and that look of being delicate. And so the more masculine features that you have, I think the more subtle your makeup should be, so that you can just look like you're born with those features and you're just subtly enhancing them, and that beauty is radiating from within, no matter how cheesy that might sound.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. And as you said, everybody's different. Some, trans women aren't as fortunate as you are in that, they don't have sort of the same sort of feminine features. And maybe, once again, they have to do things. And obviously, we live in a world where, sometimes some of the superficial aspects sort of come to life. So, okay, great. In some ways, you're lucky, as you live in Thailand, where acceptance is typically pretty good, but in other areas of the world, possibly including some areas of Thailand, there isn't acceptance but disdain. Trans women still have to keep their birth gender on their passport and identification, unable to legally identify as their desired gender. What are your feelings on this?
I think it's very backward. However, the world works how it works at the moment, and we can only hope that in the future it would change. And that is why I urge the community, not just my girls, but the allies, to, at every opportunity that that comes their way, to improve things for the trans community or the LGBT community, that they take it and upgrade things and change them in such a way that people don't have to hide anymore, and people can just be themselves and feel like they are appreciated as they are. I mean, it's not a problem for me having my passport say male, but I've had experience in the past wherein I was renewing my visa here, and they didn't have the queue number back then, and they had to shout out the name. And I was surprised that they didn't just shout out the name. They had to shout out the address, and I was addressed as Mr. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna stay in my seat for 4 seconds, and then when you call the next name, I'm gonna stand up.
So
And that's what I did.
you took it a little personally.
Well, it's because there was absolutely no need to say Mr. You could just say the name. But then again, I understand English is not their first language, and it's probably a normal thing for them. And they probably didn't expect or don't expect a lot of foreign trans women to be here. And so that was how it was before. But, after a few years, it changed and they didn't have to say the name anymore. You could just see your queue number on the screen, and that was better. But it wasn't a huge problem for me. I was just really embarrassed. But to me, I'd be embarrassed for 4 seconds, and then it's over. It doesn't really matter anymore after a few seconds.
Okay. So speaking of that, one of the things you said is that that you're essentially a foreign trans woman. You were born in the Philippines. Do you find that has any impact on perceptions here, or how you interact on a regular basis? Do you do anything different because of that?
No, not really. And I don't think they know anyway. Like if my people do not know, then Thai people wouldn't really know either. So it doesn't make any difference really. I'm just treated like any other regular woman here.
Okay. Yeah. So where you live right now, you don't obviously advertise this. Most everybody thinks that you're just like any other girl in the building, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, Thai girls are actually taller than Filipinas on average. And so my height, yes, I'd still be taller than most Thai-born women. But this height is not that, not that special for them, not that unique and not that rare. I've seen some females here who are even taller than I am, so I could just blend in.
If you were able to change your height, would you like to? Would you like to be taller or shorter?
I used to think I am already tall enough, or maybe a little too tall. But since living in Thailand, I've seen some other girls who are even taller, and some other foreigners too. I thought, it's not so bad being tall. I can be taller. But, I'm okay with my height. I'm 5'9", and I'm happy with being 5'9". But of course, if I will have the opportunity to choose, maybe I'd want to be taller so I can be a supermodel.
Although 5'9" is pretty close, isn't it?
5'9", I think, is the minimum, supposedly, for international modeling if you are not a Nepo baby. Yeah. If you're just an ordinary person without any connections, then I think 5'9" is the minimum height.
Okay, interesting. Great. Is there such a thing as an ideal woman? And if so, what would that be?
Oh, what?
An ideal woman.
An ideal woman. I don't think there is really an ideal woman, but there is an ideal woman for a man, for every man. And, it's different taste, different background, different needs. And so for every man or woman, who knows, there is an ideal person. That's how I see it.
Okay. You've lived as a trans girl for over a decade now, right?
More, I think.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's been over a decade because. So what about 12, 13 years now? Is that right?
Yes, about this.
Okay.
About that long.
So now, are there any significant changes you have made over the years that are much different than when you initially transitioned? How have you evolved?
I think that I've only changed my dressing style and my hair all throughout the years, because my taste has evolved, of course. I'm more mature now. I'm way older. I can't just dress like how I've been dressing because I'm not a teenager anymore. But that's actually a lie. I still can. And I will if I feel like it, because it's just, at the end of the day, it's just clothes. It's just clothes and makeup and hair. So if I feel like having fun, I'd probably dress up as a teenager again. But yes, on a normal day, nowadays my taste is really more mature, and that's just it. Of course, one of the major changes that I've had here in Thailand was my breast augmentation surgery, and it really gave me that extra oomph and confidence in myself, and I didn't have to worry about certain dresses anymore, not having something to cling on. And another thing, which is not really that major because my Adam's apple weren't really that big to begin with, not very conspicuous to begin with, but I just really wanted to be able to relax all the time, not having my Adam's apple visible in plain sight. And so that's another thing. But aging, I believe, is working in my favor because when I look at my old pictures, now that I'm older, I just like the way that I look so much better. And that's probably because my face has a little bit more dimension now than when I was younger, because my face, of course, was a little bit covered with baby fats, and now that I am maturing, I'm losing all the fats on my face, and I have more facial definition, and I am also quite active now that I'm older, because I'm realizing and I'm recognizing that the older you are, the more that you have to take care of yourself. And I was never really sporty when I was younger. I never liked sweating and being in the sun. Well, of course, growing up in the Philippines, I think all across Asia they like pale skin, and so I didn't really like tanning when I was younger. I didn't like the sun, and now I do like the benefits that I get from the sun, although, of course, because I'm older, I try to take care of my skin more, and I wear sunscreen, but I still do like exposing myself to the sun so I can get the vitamin D from it. I also play sports now because I love sweating now. Of course, not when I'm being interviewed, but I do like the rush that I'm getting and the fun when I'm playing with my friends. And so I do play badminton, and I do swim sometimes in my condo. And I like working out. Even when I'm not working out in the gym, I do home workouts, and for the most part, I do squats because I like having strong thighs and behind, and I do planks as well for a stronger core because I have scoliosis, so I have to have stronger core to support my backbone. And yes, I think those are the major changes. I'm just really more into taking care of myself better. I also eat better now. I choose my food. Once in a while, I do indulge in fast food. But for the most part, I choose the healthier options, and even the things that I use on myself, cosmetics, perfumes, skincare, they're of higher quality nowadays. And because not only am I older, I'm also probably more in the position to purchase higher quality stuff now. So that's it.
Yeah, and actually a lot of that makes sense because you mentioned that you had acne, and so certainly you don't want to put stuff, especially on your skin, that is going to in some ways perpetuate that condition.
Yes. It's really, it has always been one of my biggest insecurities since early teen years. I have always been acne prone, but more so when I was younger. When I was at school in college, sometimes I'd really be embarrassed to go out because my face would be not really covered necessarily, but I would have a lot of red spots and scarring from acne. I'm just lucky that I didn't have the ice pick scars or the craters on my face, and those were just sort of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, so it goes away in time. But lately I think it's also that I have discovered the right skincare for me, and probably workout and diet.
Definitely. Well, as we know, a good sweat definitely helps, not only clean your body, but also, your skin, your pores, and that type of thing.
It's a detox. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess like a fine wine, you are getting better with age, right?
Thank you.
All right. Now, anything in particular that really just angers you or pisses you off today? Today, or just in general, just where you're at right now in your life? Is there just anything that really just sort of eats away at you and bothers you?
I think there are a lot of things that really piss me off because I'm that person, or I was that person who just really gets pissed off in a lot of things that people do, like say if you have been wanting to meet me for years and years, and then you got the chance to invite me, and then I got there first, and then you're going to tell me, oh, I'm going to be late because it's raining, but then isn't it raining in my place? That would piss me off. But then again, in my headspace right now, I just don't let things bother me that much anymore. Of course, I still recognize that is just lame, but what I'm going to do is just to go shopping. If he's not there, I'm going to go shop because, my time is precious. So if you're not there to make me happy, I am going to make myself happy. What matters to me is myself. Now, if you don't want to be in my world and you don't exert the effort to be in my world and you are late, then you're not going to be in my life. That's just as easy as that. I'm not going to get angry. You're just not going to matter to me.
Okay. So essentially you try to eliminate all those trigger points that might potentially get you angry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth it to be angry and to, let those feelings linger. And I don't want to have wrinkles, so I'll just shrug it on my shoulders and think about what I can do. Because, you cannot change people, but you can change how you react to certain circumstances and how you process those feelings. And like I said, I would still recognize that is a lame move, but I can choose to not pay so much attention to it.
Yeah. Better to walk away from a situation that's going to anger you rather than sort of engage in it and then get yourself more and more sort of, hyped up.
Yes, exactly.
So, okay. Well, conversely, what is it that really makes you happy nowadays?
Knowing that I know myself better and loving myself more makes me happy. And when I'm happy, then I'm also able to love other people. What makes me happy is freedom. Freedom to do what I want and be with people that I want to be with. That makes me happy. Food. Chocolates. And a nice treat to the cinema makes me happy. I love the cinema experience. It doesn't matter what movie. It's not about the movie. It's about the cinema experience. I just really love the cinemas.
So you're going to actually go see a movie that's in Thai?
No. Because I don't understand the language. Yeah, it's just my thing. Not my thing. Not my preference. But yes. I do love Hollywood movies. Comedy is for sure on top of my list.
All right. Do you have a favorite movie?
I don't have a favorite, but I do love Mona Lisa's Smile, Julia Roberts.
Sure.
Also Pretty Woman, Notting Hill.
So anything with Julia Roberts in it you love?
It's not about her. Maybe it just really happened that she has been given really great projects, and she's brilliant in those movies. What else? Is it Dance with the Wolves?
Dancing with the Wolves.
Dancing with the Wolves.
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Yes, that's a great one too. What is that movie that was set in jail? And it took him careful planning for years to be able to get out. And when he got out, it was a swamp.
Is that the Shawshank Redemption?
Oh yes, that one.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's brilliant too. Amazing movie.
All right. Well, it sounds like you like comedies.
Yeah,
dramas,
I do.
thrillers.
I used to love horror films. Horror, not the gory murder ones. I used to love the demonic ones. Possessions and exorcism, because those are things that might actually be true. Well, of course, murders are real, right? But
Yeah.
those are people, those are human, so they're not particularly scary to me. They're shocking, thrilling, but not scary. But to me, if it's about demons and stuff, that would scare me off, and that would frighten me until I go to sleep, and that would haunt me in my sleep. And so I used to love those kinds of horror films with my younger brothers. But that was also because, I was living in the same place, the same house. And so when it's time for me to sleep, I would share my room with one of them. And so, I wasn't really that scared. But now I live alone, so I don't watch horror films anymore. I'd be too scared.
Probably best to stick with the comedies.
Yes, right.
So, okay, great. Anyway, that's all the questions that I have for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to add at this time?
No, not really. I think that covers it. And, thank you again for inviting me. And, thank you so much for listening. And I will be back soon. See ya.